All right. All right. All right. Hey,
Wow.
everyone. Yeah, there you go. Matthew McConaughey. Hey, everyone. Welcome. We're back finally. We're going to be having an awesome conversation. I know it's been like how long since we had our last podcast?
Probably what, like 3 weeks, maybe more? I don't even
Three
know.
weeks. Yeah, almost a month, but
Yeah.
it's been a hectic like month, but in a good way because of course as everyone knows, we finished. Well, we didn't finish, but we're all like more than halfway done with episode 3 filming of the Red Huntress, and we finished filming yesterday over or Saturday and Sunday over the weekend. And let me tell you, I am so tired. My brain is like blah. So, so, so for everyone tuning in, like I forgot to do my introduction. All right, everyone. My name's Keith, and I'm with my co-host Lillian, and we are on the lounge tonight. It's been almost a month since we've done this because we've been so busy with projects. And tonight's going to be a good one where it's going to be focused on the Red Huntress because everybody's asking like, what's going on? Like, what's going to happen in the next episode? People are excited, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. I know some people have some questions of directing and doing all that other stuff, basic filmmaking recipes, is what I call it. You know what I mean? Filmmaking recipes so you don't lead into disaster. There you go.
Filmmaking
That makes
recipes.
something.
I like it. I
Recipes
like
that,
it.
yeah, filmmaking recipes that won't make you sour. So as you guys see, I am tired. Look at me, like I am just So, Lillian, what have you been up to?
Oh, I have been just gearing up for spring. I've got a couple of films kind of attached to Don't Die Tonight Part 2. And so we're going to be filming that sometime this summer. I have to learn how to rollerblade or roller skate because that's my
Oh,
character. I'm a
rollerblade or
roller.
roller skating? Two different
Well, I
roller.
think it's roller skate. It's
Okay,
roller skate
so
because I'm
rollers.
roller.
Okay, so I think roller skates are four wheels side by side, and
Yes,
rollerblading are like literally like a straight
it's
across.
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
almost 100% now. Now I'm thinking about it, talking it through. It's roller skating, so I've got to brush up so I don't fall on my
Rob,
ass when I'm filming.
Robert, there you go. Robert Best, welcome to the podcast of the lounge. How are you doing this evening, everyone? Robert's actually going to be a producer in episode 3 and episode 4. He'll be one of our associate producers, so it's pretty cool. He's been out sharing a lot of stuff of ours, so we appreciate it. Thank you, Robert. We're excited for the episodes coming up, right? Super excited. And also speaking about that, this is a great time for me to talk about what the game plan is moving forward. So I know everyone lately has been seeing. Let me put down the music just a little bit because I don't know if it's too loud or not. I'm trying to get like really hyped, but I'm like my body's like no.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're so tired. You're trying to like.
Yeah, I'm trying to go. Um, so before we talk about filming, what happened over the weekend and how it went great, by the way. But it's just everyone wants to know more details, so I'll tell a little bit what happened. Um, so over the past few weeks, we've been talking about a pre-launch, and what this pre-launch on our Indiegogo talks about is basically getting people involved in our pre-launch campaign before the actual campaign kicks in, and that's what we're trying to do. But also, there are some benefits to this too. So let me go ahead and pop this open. Hilario, welcome to the chat. He was on set
Whoa!
with us over the weekend. Yo! so, so here's what it is. I'm gonna pop it open so everybody can see it. All right. So this is the Red Huntress, the fourth chapter pre-launch. So what the pre-launch is going to be talking about here is basically just a little bit about the Red Huntress, the fourth chapter, what we're going to be doing, what the episode's about. it gives everyone a little heads up and what we're going to be doing. So we got here, just for those who have watched the Red Huntress and who are following us, this is just going to be the next chapter after episode 3. For those who are new to watching the Red Huntress, they get kind of like a glimpse of what the Red Huntress is about and that chapter for this specifically. So yeah, they can go, they can have the Red Huntress, recap, you know, cool stuff right here, really cool. Look at there's Lillian right over here. I can't do there she is right here on this right here upper left. So that was a cool photo shoot, by
I
the way.
like
That was
that.
fun. That
Yeah.
was a great one. So check this out, everyone. This is really cool. So if you go ahead and you just drop your email right here, well, that's my email. But if you go ahead and drop your email up there or down there, don't matter. You can how can you say it? What's the way I can describe it? Um, what are you waiting for, homies? What? Excuse me, Sammy. What are you doing? Sammy's tuning in with us this evening. How are you doing, Sammy? She was on set with us the whole weekend too, so it's gonna be a great night talking about it. So basically, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your email, and you're gonna get some awesome, awesome benefits from this. So as it says right here, you receive the early bird discounts and limited time only perks. So we have some really cool perks that we're doing this time that you can only get access to if you sign up and reserve. So don't miss out. We extended it till this Wednesday. I believe what's this Wednesday? The third, the second. I think it's the second. This Wednesday.
Yeah.
You can sign up for it. But we got cool perks like so we're doing more we're getting more of the fans involved, and that's what we're doing. So by doing this, I forgot one of the perks. Wow, I'm so like tired. It's like blah, like it's all just scramble in my head. Um, Gone but not forgotten. That's one where two people can get this perk, and what happens is basically they get like a memorable death scene by the cult leaders, or by the Wendigo cult's butcher, and basically just gets them butchered. But I know I'm super tired right now, but there's not too many perks I can remember off the top of my head. But if you go to our Facebook page, we got everything on there. That's like my scapegoat. Um, but yeah, just go on over here. It's really cool. You don't have to do it, but if you want to get access to really cool special perks besides just average perks, you want to get this, and you get early bird access. So when we release it, you'll be the first. You'll be one of the first people to go look and get a perk that you want before we put it out to everyone else. So it's not hard. Just put your email in it. You don't have to spend anything. But if you want to, you can reserve. You can reserve after you put in your email. When you reserve, um, it's $10 you reserve, and you will get not just early bird discounts and stuff. You get automatically a percent off, and you get access to secret perks, which will not be given to anyone who I'm sorry, will not be given to anyone who's put their email on it, or to the public. So these are just specifically your perks that you can pick from for people who reserve. So check it out. It's well worth it. It helps us. It helps everyone. Right, Lillian? Helps everyone. So
Yeah. Every
let's
little
see.
bit helps.
Everything helps. Every little bit helps. It gets put to good use. All right. So let me get out of here. Let's switch back to us. So let's see. She said, ha ha ha. I'm good. Tired? Yes. Oh my gosh. I am so tired right now. I texted Lillian. I was like, Lillian, hey, are we doing the podcast today? You want to do it? And she's like, yeah, let's do it. I'm like, all right, cool. I have to get it out because people want to see behind the scene pictures and all that other stuff.
Do
So,
you drink
and that's what we're
coffee?
gonna do.
Do you drink coffee?
No, because I'll be in the bathroom in about like 20 minutes. So,
I
if
know.
I
I
can't
was
use
like, go ahead.
that's like my coffee is like my what's it called? What's that medicine called where you can't use the when you're just constipated, like, and it makes you use
Oh,
the bathroom. I
oh my
forgot
gosh,
what
I
it was
can't
called.
remember. I know what you're talking about. Oh
Uh,
my gosh, I can't think of it.
oh
But the
my
stuff
gosh,
that makes
it's
you go, the stuff that makes you go.
yeah. What is it called? You're not.
Imodium?
Uh,
I know there's one I
no,
think called Imodium.
laxative,
Oh,
laxative. Yeah, that's what it's
yeah,
called.
laxative. That's the
Laxative.
term.
There you go. See, look at this. I can't even think of basic stuff. So, also, everyone, if you want to do that, oh my god. So, for everyone who's tuning in, I'm gonna drop that Indiegogo link right here. Let me do it right now for everyone. So it is in the chat. Give me 1 second so I can type it in. Excuse my spelling. All right, so I just dropped it into the pre-launch. Welcome, and also to everyone who's tuning in, welcome. We are going to have a great talk tonight about the Red Huntress. It's going to be great. We're going to talk about our shoot over the weekend. We got some cool behind the scenes pictures. And if you have any questions about the Red Huntress, or for me or for Lillian, let us know. As you know, Lillian played as oh my goodness, Laura Wello. So you've seen her. Yeah, Laura. I had to say Lauren. No, it's Laura.
You're
Laura
so
Wello.
tired. Aw.
I know. I know.
I
So
feel
we'll be
ya.
talking about even Sammy. So okay, so we were filming this weekend. Um, and we started Saturday. So we got a cabin to film in, and we started at like 11 a.m. and then we filmed all the way until like 7 p.m. And we had to leave. We like it was like kind of like you gotta leave the campsite by 10 p.m. because they shut it all down. Like
Oh,
anyone who stays in stays in. It's not like they're gonna lock you in your cabin, but like you can't leave the campsite unless like you can leave but you can't come back. So we were just trying to get all of this stuff put together and trying to film as much as we can. It was a nice like spot in there, but it wasn't too bad. And hold on, I got somebody. Is this who I think it is? It's Clifton. Hello. Clifton was also on set. Oh, Clifton, you're gonna love what I got for you, buddy. You're gonna love this. Let me see. Sorry, guys. Clifton, how are you doing this evening? Sorry, Mac was messaging me, and I'm just like, what? I'm in the middle of a. I can't multitask right now. My brain is like, blah. So Clifton was also at this whole weekend. Um, so yeah, so Clifton was there for the weekend, and oh, there you go. Sammy's back. So yeah, so we filmed from 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. And me, Clifton, Tiffany, and Mac, and we were trying to literally get like this fire going, right? So we got firewood because you can't bring outside firewood. But yeah, we were literally trying to get this firewood going, and I'm sitting here like, oh my goodness gracious, like light. So we bought all these hot dogs, think like these Italian sausages, and we're like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be good to eat. Let me tell you, like this wood was not burning. It was just simmering. It was like it was basically like coal. And I'm
just
sitting here, I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. And I'm like, start a fire. And we're like, what are we doing wrong? I was so upset about it. So I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. So we end up cooking, and let me tell you, I don't know if we were supposed to eat it, but nobody got sick. But it was like sitting on that fire for about an hour, making
Uh,
Italian sauce. So yeah. So then Sunday, it was like, let me tell you, when you're in Chicago, like the wet, you can get like all the seasons in like one weekend, which we did. So we started at what 11 a.m. and then we went. The last scene was filmed at 2 in the morning out there. So it rained from like 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. And after it rained for that, we went out and we filmed. It got really warm and like sticky, like after the rain comes down. And after that, it just got really cold and was about to snow. Because we had to film the werewolf scene, because that was one of the last scenes we had to film. It was great. It came out amazing. So everyone, wait for that to come out. That's going to be great. So I'm going to go ahead and answer some of these questions real quick because people
they're
are
all
like going
rolling
off.
in.
Yeah, rocking in. Welcome to the chat. Keep asking away. All right, Jordy TV. Is this Jordan? Is this Jordan?
Oh!
Jordan, yo, all the yos today. If this is Jordan, how are you doing? Jordan did amazing on set. He played as our cult leader, Winged Beast Reader. So he looked like the Undertaker the way he was dressed up. It was great. Let's see, Apex. Clifton said, "I'm good. Just got home. This weekend was great." It was, Clifton, but I was just telling Lillian, my head hurts. I'm so tired. Like, it was just crazy. So much work. I think Clifton was one of the last scenes that he did, and Braven, his youngest son, he got his debut in filming. So we had him play as a goblin. Yeah, and he helped out on set, so it was pretty cool. I was happy. It was great. Paul, what's up, everyone? How you doing, Paul? And let's see. Sammy said the hot dogs and s'mores were fire. Yes, we had s'mores and hot dogs and burgers.
I always burn my
this-
s'mores. I burn them.
But
I make it
people
where
like-
they're like on back and they're like they taste good. I like them where they're burnt.
See, I don't like them burned. Like, I can't. Like, people literally let it catch on fire and they let it sit, and you're like,
Oh,
no,
yes,
because it
yes,
burns my
yes.
tongue. It's like people like the Giordano's deep dish, and when you eat it, you can't eat it when you're super hungry because you choke on the cheese. Like, you'll literally choke on it because you're just swallowing the food, and you're like, ah. All right, Paul Nada, what'd he say? Sounds like the wood had moisture in it. It did. We really think it did because the weather, like, over the past week wasn't good. But the next night, it was really good. It was nice, but it was raining. It was like not raining, but like drizzling. So it was like annoying, but nobody cared. We're like, hey, bonfire, let's stay warm and let's just hang out and have s'mores. So, Aaron Markham, how are you doing tonight, Aaron? I commend the entire cast. It's a great series. Love from Reapers Underground. Appreciate it. It was a long weekend. I'm like, let me tell you. Let's see. Jordan said, "What's up? Thank you for the opportunity. It was really fun." What do you mean? You're sounding like you're not coming back. You're coming back. so
Tyler,
what is it?
did you forget Kyler?
Oh, I did. I'm sorry, Kyler. How are you doing this evening, Kyler, or morning? Where are you coming from? See, Lillian's my eyes today. Like, gosh, I can barely keep them open. And then tonight when I go to bed, I'm going to be wide awake.
Oh, of course.
So,
yeah, that's how I am.
Yeah.
I'll be like so
It always
tired
happens.
the day, and then I go to lay down. I'm like, my thoughts are driving crazy.
It's
Like all
terrible.
the things I've got to do, get done. You're like playing it out in your head. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't finish today.
Right. Again, for everyone who's tuning in, thank you. We got a bunch of people tuning in this evening. Awesome. Thank you. You guys are all tuning in when I'm all tired. Look at that. I'm trying my hardest.
All the pressure's on you.
Yeah, all the pressure's on me right now.
Like,
so there you go. So, like, everybody, I'm gonna tell everyone, welcome in. Thank you for tuning in. The chat box is open. If you have any questions, ask away. We're friendly. We're really friendly, so it's okay. If Lillian picks up something faster before me, give me some slack. I'm tired. But again,
Kyler's first day of work today, looks like.
There it is. Kyler's first day. Hey, congrats. How was it? And where do you work at, if you don't mind us asking?
So we can dox
So
you.
again, yeah. So for everyone who's tuning in this evening, again, we are doing our pre-launch for episode 4. Let me pull that up. It's right over here. Oh, I'm sorry. It's right over here. All you got to do, everyone, just put your email in there and you get early bird discounts and limited time only perks. Go and do that. And if you reserve, you get even better benefits. So go ahead and do that and support us because we're going live for our fourth episode campaign and we need to raise that money. We need to get that goal so we can get some awesome stuff for everybody. We are going up in numbers like crazy. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm going to drop the link to our pre launch right in the chat box so anyone can go in there and check it out. So, our goal is to get at least 100 emails by Wednesday, but if we can make that happen tonight, I'll give you all a surprise from the Red Huntress. How about that? So I'm pretty good at giving deals. All right, here we go. So where do we start? Where do we start? Let's just start by. Oh, I gotta finish going down the line. Let's see. Ed said. Evil Ed says, "Oh yeah, and congratulations! Congratulations to all of you. Nothing but love for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Much love." 50 Shades. Sammy says, welcome, welcome. And then Aaron says, Chicago sounds like filming in Texas with all the seasons at once. Yeah, kind of. It's brutal.
Texas was like that.
I didn't know it changed. Well, so Misty Wagner's from Texas, the one who plays as Elizabeth Wellow. She's from Texas. She says the weather can go anywhere. It goes left to right, left to right. Yeah. And then Kyler says, I'm working as a janitor at a courthouse. Hey, there you go. Hey, you get a job's a job. That's why I put it that way. Make money, support yourself. And if you want to get into filmmaking, you can support other filmmakers. I am kidding. No, it's great. That's awesome. I'm proud. That's great. Is this your how would I say? Is this your first job working in a courthouse? And then Sammy says, congrats on your first day. And then Tiffany Saggio, she was on set. She plays a Victoria Whitlock. To all the viewers, the Red Huntress, something definitely worth investing into. It's an amazing show already. Yes, you heard that? You heard that straight from Tiffany. She did awesome. You did awesome over the weekend. It was great.
Yeah, that was the first time acting, right?
What was that?
Am I?
No. That was Tiffany. That was Tiffany White. Tiffany White.
Oh, that's another Tiffany. Okay.
Yeah. So we're gonna go and pop open some behind the scene pictures because this is the first time that Lillian's gonna see it because she wasn't on set. Well, she wasn't in the episode. So I'm gonna go through. So here's some behind the scenes so this was on Saturday. We have Nikita up on top. See, this is what we call ingenuity at its finest. So, we didn't have enough space to do things, so duct tape was our best friend and our tripods. So we had the lighting all situated like that. So, and then we're gonna go down here. Look at that's one of the best shots of me. Look at that. I was actually genuinely smiling. Look at all that energy. That's the smile of I'm going to feel like shit on Monday. That's how it is. That's what it's gonna be. I knew it. And here's Tiffany over here. Let's see. This was a cool shot. I'm not gonna tell you what happens in this scene.
Color too, the blue and greens.
Yeah. So what we were doing for this shot, I did some research when we were filming because a lot of people were like, hey, when you do the Red Huntress, people were giving me a lot of constructive criticisms because we listen to our fans. We want our fans to be able to get the experience that they want. And especially if you're investing into this project, and definitely to all the independent filmmakers who are out there, listen to your fans. You don't have to follow everything what they say, but definitely listen to them, because sometimes they might see something that you might not see. It's like getting a second pair of eyes. And listening to them can definitely give you a heads up. So one of my friends told me, hey man, since you're doing horror, the new color scheme is blue and yellow. And since it's taking place back in the day, since it's taking place back in the 1800s, early 1900s, they didn't really have electricity like that. So we used the bluish white light for these scenes to kind of give off that how can I say it, moonlight kind of feel at night. And then if you look all the way in the back corner, like right on the side of the camera, we have our lantern, so it gives yellow. So it's yellow orange. So it's kind of like the color contrast. It's like red and green, blue and yellowish, kind of like that. So that's what we went with. Let's see. Here's another one. People are cut off. Clifton's cut off. So here's all the crew from Saturday. Here's the crew from Saturday night. Let's see.
Group selfie.
It's we got Hilario, we got Misty here, we got Tiffany, we got Abby, we got Braven right over here, Clifton, the other Tiffany, Sammy, Rick. Oh, I'm gonna guess who this is. I can't tell because it's cut off in there. Nikita and Matt. Whoever this is, don't get mad at me because I gotta go pull up the other picture. Okay, let me catch up on these comments. There's so many people in this chat. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right. Aaron Markham, Misty Wagner is amazing. I'm in Killer Cox with her and her. Oh, wow, I just read what that was. Okay, I'm in Killer Cox with her and her plan to have her. Oh, something's blocked. Her my first on horror film. That's awesome, Eric. So you're going to be making your first horror film. That's awesome. I love it when people make their first films. It's always awesome. Lewis, it's Lewis. Thank you, Clifton. It's Lewis. See, my brain's all scrambled. It's Lewis. I have the actual picture that's not cut off, but here it's cutting it off for some odd reason. So what's this? Werewolf question, Keith. Did you hand punch the hairs into the werewolf costume? It's like a tedious process, and I attempted last year for my face appliance. Well, I'm not going to tell you my secrets how I do it to everybody because I got my cool way of doing it, but I will message you about that. So I'll message you how I did it because, I don't want to just give away how I did it because everyone's like, how did you do it? And I found a simpler and faster and cheaper way of doing it too. So I'll let you know. I'll give you a heads up on that. All right, so here comes the screen grabs that I did this morning. I don't know how I had enough energy for it. Here we go. So again, we're going with that blue and orange and teal kind of feel. We got Sammy over here. So we were out in the forest. This was done on Sunday. We have the Wendigo cult. And over here on the side, Jenny's over here. But I can't tell you what's going on because I don't want to spoil everything for you. Here's my favorite. It's Clifton. So as you all know in episode 2, I'm going to do a spoiler alert. In episode 2, Clifton is the werewolf. So you get to see him in episode 3, and you'll see him even more. So episode 3 is going to be really cool. A lot of the fans asked for monster fights, and we're like, okay, we'll give you monster fights. So that's what we're doing. We listen to our fans, right, Lillian? That's the thing to do. Listen to them if you can.
The customer's always right, the fan's always right.
Okay, they're not. The customers are not always right. Okay. Most of the time they're right, but not always right. But this wasn't. So I'm going to tell everyone when we were filming this, Clifton did an amazing job. Like he got so mad, not mad mad at anyone, but his character had to get angry, mad. His veins were popping out from his head, and you can see it on the top of his head where one of his veins is popping out and on the side. And we're like, man, Clifton, are you okay? He's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. He got so into his role that he forgot the rest of his lines for a little bit. And I'm like, you're okay, man. But it was amazing. It was awesome how we went off. It was great. I loved it, and everyone's going to love it too. We were filming this at what? This scene was done at midnight, 1:10 in the morning. So it was late. Wow. It was late. Let me go through the comments. Evil Ed Hamilton. I understand, brother. I don't give away all my crafting secrets either. I don't blame you because then everyone else is gonna take it. Let's see. Nick O'Brien. Let's see. Nick O'Brien, you just missed your screen grab. Yes, this is Nick. Nick O'Brien. He came on set. He jumped in as the Wendigo called, and he did an amazing job. So, all right, here we go. Here's another one. This was a cool one. This is of Abby. Abby came in and she played as our gargoyle, and I felt bad for Jordan because Jordan's like, why is my leg always getting like messed up and stuff you want me to do? I said, I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's like that one dude who you just hired to just get killed on set. Like, here you go, just go over here and you're my stunt double for today. So, let's see. So we got other cool pictures. We got Clifton, we got Lewis, Tiffany, and Sammy. Let's see. We got me filming Lewis. My knees were like buckling in. My goodness. Here's some of the scenes of the cult scene. It was just like right after it like rained here. Oh yeah, and then during the rain, Marquise, we had to throw Marquise in the back of the truck because it was raining, so I didn't have any space, so we just threw him in there. And he was sleeping next to the dummy. It was a great picture I had to take of him. He fell asleep eating his grape. Yeah, he was eating grapes and he fell asleep. And I was just like, okay, let me get this picture. He had all the party stuff with him. So I told him, I'm going to use you for a meme one day for this. So, and we got more scenes. Here's Jordan right over here looking like the Undertaker. Here's Misty Wagner. I thought at first she was holding a gun in the back, like strapped to her. But I had to look closely. I'm like, there's no strap to her. It's someone else holding the gun. I think it was Lewis sitting down with it upward. So that was cool. And we got Tiffany White, and we got Misty also together. I think that was one of the first shots we did. And yeah, that was the last one. Let's see. Yeah, that was the last shot. We have so much more you guys can check out on our Facebook page, but that's most of them that we have to show everyone. So it was a fun weekend, and I'm glad it's getting warmer outside because I'm tired of filming in the garage or indoors. Like, oh.
Where was the cabin? What was the cabin that you rented?
So we got it from, I don't remember where it was. Holy cow. I don't remember where it was. See, that's how bad my memory is right now. I don't remember if... Hey, man, the mouse isn't running yet right up here, okay? Like, okay. My head's like...
You gotta get a good night's rest tonight, Keith.
If I find out what it is, I'll just blurt it out, and it'll just be like, "Oh, I remember where it was." I'm just singing like,
just like randomly, so let's see, like
yeah, just randomly in the middle of the conversation. All right, so yeah. Evil Ed says, making my first horror movie still, hoping to get it finished in 2 months or less. It's been a journey. Speaking of, I have to go soon and edit more footage. All right, sounds good. Thanks for jumping on, Evil Ed Hamilton. And then Nick O'Brien said, my legit honor, that was a blast to do. Thank you, Nick. We appreciate it. I don't know how you are still up. Like, there's a lot of the cast members in here. I'm like, how are you guys up? Let's see. Evil Ed had one more question. Sammy will kill me. How do you trust her with weapons? I had to. Oh. I don't know. Do you trust Sammy doing that, Lillian?
I trust her. She knows what she's doing.
Are you sure? Are you sure she knows what to do? Mm-hmm. All right. Questionable.
She's got it under.
And Zamir, how are you doing? I got your hat, man. I know you left it on set, so I got your hat. Just letting you know. So, yeah, today we just wanted to catch up. We wanted to talk about a lot of things. Not a lot, but just do a catch up. One of the things I wanted to talk about was, filmmaking, directing, talking about starting your new films because I think that's like a big thing. It's getting into summer now, and so a lot of people are none. Oh, none of them are sharp ahead. Yeah, as long as they're not real things, that you do not want them to hold real things. Actually, fun fact: if you want to, um, you can go buy those rubber like knives. They have rubber like prop knives that you can use, or a silicone, where they look real but they bend like crazy. So it's pretty cool. Um, I'm sorry, let me read this. Oh, I have dents in my chest to prove Sammy is a killer. She's great. Okay, I'm out, y'all. Oh, so Sammy. Okay, don't trust
Hi,
Sammy
Ed.
with anything. You see, Ed.
Thanks for joining.
Um, yes. So,
You know,
um, Nikita. Hey, Nikita. I don't know how you guys are all still up right now. Aren't you guys supposed to be enjoying your Monday? Like, dang. Um, so yeah, we're gonna talk tonight about like anyone who's trying to become an independent filmmaker, specifically into directing low budget, out of pocket film. I don't want to talk about low budget films because low budget films I think is like under like $100,000 and the minimum of like 40,000. But I want to talk about low budget, out of pocket filmmaking, um, for everyone who's just starting. And I know Lillian had her run as a director and running her own production uh, last year over the summer.
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, you know, we it's tough. I'm gonna tell you, it's tough. Like over this weekend, you're on set for it's just me and Mac running the show. Um, and then it's great to always have the actors on set who are willing to help you out. Everyone on my set always asks, "Do you need help with this? Do you need help with that?" And I think that's really amazing because you don't see that on a lot of other sets. Some actors are just like, "That's not my job. I'm not gonna do that." But it's always great when you
Well,
have
you know
act.
something?
Yeah,
I love to help out on set because otherwise I get bored waiting around. It's like give me something to do. Like I
you
love
can
to
get
like
bored on set.
you
You
know,
can
and
get
it's
not
like
me.
all right.
I don't get bored. Yeah, I don't get
Well,
bored. I
no,
get
when you're
stressed.
around.
So I always tell someone always says, "Oh my gosh, is set fun?" I'm like, "No, it's not fun." They're like, "Really?" And they're like, "I'm kidding. It's fun, but it's fun in a way when you're done because you get to see the
Oh
process of
yeah,
what you're doing or what you've
yeah,
seen afterwards. But on set, it gets very like tiring. It gets very stressful.
well,
You know,
yeah, ideas and stuff. Yeah,
like there's no such thing as like a 3 hour film set. Like I minimum I worked on a set that's like what 10 hours at least. And if they can get you in and
yeah.
out in 3 hours, either really good or really bad. So
That's true.
um
I
yeah,
think
because I'm just like
a lot of people keep don't I think don't understand that because there have been quite a few sets I've been on where we're basically using a space like somebody's house or something like that
yeah,
or a a business and they don't understand why it takes so long. Like they're like, well, I thought you'd be done by now. It's like, no, like
yeah,
this is a very long process. Something
yeah,
that looks like, oh well, it's a page or something that we're filming. It's like that page, I mean, it takes a lot. It's
yep,
see, and I'll tell you something. I've been doing time, and even I get fooled by like, oh yeah, this should be simple scene to film, and it's like, it takes longer than
it's
even I think sometimes.
it's always simple at first from what you look at it because you're just looking at the pages. So like over the
Right.
weekend we filmed on Saturday we filmed I think 14 pages, and on Sunday we filmed another 8 pages. So
Oh,
um cramming
that's
14 pages into let's say what's a 9 hour day, 10 hours, because we went from 11 to 7, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., about like 8 hours give or take. Getting that
mhm.
all done is really good. Actually, it's very good.
Oh
Usually
yeah.
you'll have to like break off like about instead of doing the full 14 pages, sometimes one set might get like 5, 6 pages done in like 8 hours. And it really just
Mm,
depends on everything all around. It depends on the
right.
actors, it depends on the director, it depends on the weather, if it's a controlled or not. That's why I guess a lot of bigger productions like to film indoors because it's a controlled environment. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
but sometimes when you have a low budget, as Hilario said over here, let me put it up here.
Micro to zero budget. Yeah.
Exactly. We are technically considered micro to zero budget filming. And a lot of people don't understand what that means. When we say we're a low budget film, people still think you can afford this, you can afford that. We can, we can't. We're trying
Right.
to we're trying to film things out of pocket. Like sometimes it's our actors putting money for themselves to come on set, which it starts off like that. You're going to put money in. It's like going to the casino. You can't just walk in there and bring no money and win nothing, win something. Um, but it's all about how do you run your set, how you work with people, because it's the summertime now, and a lot of independent films are coming out, and the number one thing we want to do is help everyone who's trying to start their own film. So with that being said, go ahead and ask us questions. We'll be talking about it, but ask us a question. If you're making an independent film and it's your first time making a film, ask away. We're here to help. We want to make sure that we want to make sure that you can do what you need to do. We're here to help. I went back to my high school and for a career day, and I was talking to our broadcast class, and they were super cool. And I explained to them. I said, you know what, filmmaking is not going to be the job that will make you money right off the bat. You're not going to make a lot of money off the bat. You're going to owe more money actually. But the thing is that you need to get your name, you need to get your reputation, you need to get your work out there, and your work will speak more for you than you itself. So, but it's expensive. How much did you end up spending for? I already forgot the film you did. Oh my gosh, what is it that you just
Deranged.
deranged? How much did
Deranged.
you end up? There you go. See,
Um,
you're gonna have to help.
a That's okay. That's what I'm here for. I'd say approximately when all said and done, about 10 to 15 grand total, because it's
10,
made if
10 to
that
15 grand.
10 to yeah.
Holy
But I had
cow,
like
that's a
one
lot.
good yeah, and I'm just spitballing it like I'm just trying to think because I have like a budget sheet like of how much
Yeah.
back, but probably around there. But keep in mind, I overspent on the project. Like if I was to do a new project from scratch right now, it would not be that much, if that makes sense. I
Right.
overspent. I
Well,
had
you
an investor like that had given 5,000. It was
wow.
a filmmaker friend of mine, his dad. You know, so that made it easier. But and then I did a I think I did an Indiegogo campaign. It's been so long.
You did. I saw your Indiegogo.
Yes, I did. And that helped. Um, but yeah, going like again, going forward, I would not spend that much unless I had like, oh, I had this great investor wants to spend, some crazy amount.
Yeah,
But there, I overspent for sure. And there'd be
that's
other
okay.
ways that I trade costs. What's that?
Well, that's how you learn. I said that's
Yeah,
okay because you learn that way. You
I
learn
learned
how
by
to do.
screwing up so many things, Keith. I learned by screwing up so many things. Like that's how
But see,
I learn, really, to be honest.
but the thing is that someone always told me you train for failure. That's what you train for. You train for failure because failure is not a bad thing. In some
No, it's a
cases,
good
if
learning.
you
It's a
yeah,
learning thing.
exactly. Exactly. Even when it comes to criticisms, which as an independent filmmaker, anything you do in life, an independent filmmaker, you're going to get people who are always going to criticize you. It's going to be good, it's going to be bad, it's going to be indifferent. But you're going to get people who always think that, oh, well, this is, you can, X, Y, and Z, that this is better and you need to do better in this, but they don't
Everybody
remember
has their days.
exactly. And you know what you tell them? We're considered a micro to zero budget filmmaking. So if they want to keep running their mouth and telling you how bad you are at directing or filming, tell them, why don't you shut your mouth and put your money where your mouth is and donate to my film so you can help me out, make it better. But don't say that. Don't
Yeah,
say
and
that. But
it's easier to yeah. Yeah, it's
it's
easy to
like I always
criticize like films and stuff. You make your one yourself. It's like you're gonna see how much of a pain in the ass it is.
Well, that's why I always tell people, like, there's always people who want to sit there and judge other people on what they want to do, and it's not like that. It's not about judging. It's not about competition. My favorite thing is, competition is at the bottom and the collabs are all happening on the top. Because at the end of the day, you're going to meet somebody who you'll work with and network with, and they're going to know somebody else, and they're going to know somebody else. You guys form a good relationship. You never know. Your fans are reaching out to their fans and their fans, and they're all coming to one project. When you start competing, because there's way too many competition going on in the independent filmmaking world right now, way too much
Yeah.
competition. And it's like, guys, it's not about competition. We're here so that we can make film. We want to do good because this is what people like to do when they're stressed, when they want to get away from life. They watch movies, they watch TV. This is their social outing, sometimes. So if we're so busy competing against each other, you know, that's a problem. We shouldn't be competing against each other. And also we shouldn't think that we shouldn't think that we're better than other people. Like, I mean, just because you're here doesn't
Right.
mean that you're better than this other person. Because at the end of the day, you don't know what it's like in their shoes. Same thing with, what's going on. I talked to a few independent filmmakers who are directors, and they ask me, "Hey, how do you do this? How do you do that?" I freely give my advice. And, some people
Yes.
tell me, "Oh, don't."
Yes.
Yes, some people always tell me, "Oh, don't tell them what you do. Don't do that. That's a secret." Or charge them. I'm like, why would I charge someone for this? Because I learned it from somebody else for free. Like,
Right.
I
Right.
feel like
Exactly.
it, because at the end of the day, like, someone is wanting to be in your position. They want to try something. And if they reach out for you for help and they're going to be like, well, I'm going to charge you money, or I'm not going to tell you what I do, like that, without, like, you know, they want something out of it. I think it's unfair. I think it's not cool because at the end of the day, we need to grow together. We're not at that level where, we can keep secrets from each other, because we're all still
Right.
there, you know.
Yeah.
Let me
I always enjoy helping people, like, because I know that I remember how it was for me when I was starting out, and I think about all the information that could have helped me, and it's like anybody asks me for help, I'm very happy to help my,
ex-
fellow
exactly. It's like, it exactly. If someone came up to me like Aaron, Aaron said, "Hey, the werewolf guy." Is it Aaron or Ed? Is it? I think it was Ed talking about the werewolf.
I think
Uh, I think
that was Ed about the
that was
werewolf.
Ed. Okay, yeah, Ed. Yeah. So like Ed, for example, talking about, like, oh, how do you do the hair? Like, I joke around. I say I'm not gonna say it out here, but like, if you want to legit know, I can literally just tell you how to do it. I'm not gonna hide it from people because at the end of the day, I learned one way through YouTube, and I just decided I found a better and cheaper way. So why will I not help out somebody else? Because at the end of the day, if they get up there, and their film does really good, you want them to be like, "Hey, thanks to this guy, I was able to make this look really cool. Now you get in the
Oh,
spotlight too." Don't
yeah,
expect to get
exactly.
into the spotlight. Don't expect it, but it's always good things come around. I mean, it's the same thing of, like, you want to, it's like karma. But Good things come around
Well,
if
it's
you
like
treat other
building
people
a
good.
community. Like, well, Nikita says that we should support each
There you
other
go.
like a family. I agree. Like,
Yep.
it's it's
We
building a
definitely should. Yeah, you're building, a
or film.
community
I call it
around
my film family. I call it my film family
you.
usually.
Yeah, yeah. But we need that. We need that because if you're brand new, it's like if you're brand new at filming and you have no money, because most of the time filmmakers don't have money. Independent filmmakers, we're taking out loans, which I tell you, do not take out a loan. I'm going to tell you that right
I
off the bat.
yes,
Do
I did
not
that,
take
Keith. I
out
did that. But it,
a loan. You should just ask me
yeah,
for
I
help.
learned a lot. It was before I met you, though. To be fair.
Oh, okay, okay, all right. Yeah,
Yeah, it
so
was.
I do not recommend taking out a loan. I definitely recommend with working within your budget. Working within your budget. That's always what I think of. Not just working with your budget, but um, how can I say it? Write a story that you know that you can do, like without a budget. Because some people are like, I want to do this shot and this shot and this shot. If you can't do that, it's great to write stories. If you have a story you want to write the script and put it away for now. You know what I mean? If you can't do it, or go through Indiegogo, network, meet people. You know what I mean? Because networking is another big thing too about starting up a production. Networking is super, super, super important because there are some people who go out there and they think, I don't need to network to people. It's all right. I'm good. And then it's like, yeah, it's not going to work too long. Let's see. I'm going to go to Aaron. I have hand created every effect for my movie, and it's a slasher style with a lot of different ways to dispatch the cast. And then he went on saying, Dick Smith and Rick Baker shared their secrets to further all movies, not just their careers. You're the same. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, so here's my thing. So Hilario, he does a lot of SFX and makeup, as you know, because he goes around and that's what he does on this as a side job and makes great effects. I learned from him, and when I was building the werewolf costume, originally it was supposed to be Hilario to build it, and I ended up doing myself, and I totally outdid it myself because I need to learn myself. Sometimes it's best for you to learn everything yourself than just here you go. I'm just going to hand it off to somebody because eventually you find out like the cheaper ways of doing things. Um, and just don't be lazy because there's you can't be lazy. Like I know when Party City was going out of business, Mac was so pissed because we went to like almost every Party City. um Scott, I'll get back to, let me finish my thought and I'll get over there. We went to every Party City and Mac was so pissed, but I got the best deals and everything during the time when they were closing because it was the cheapest time to grab it. So you got it, you put
Yeah.
it away, and always keep your costumes. Always keep your costumes. All right, here you go.
I know.
Scott.
I have a big container full of my stuff. I'm like, well, I'm gonna save it just in case. Because what if we had to reshoot
Yeah.
something?
So Scott was on set with Jan and their daughter. I hope you guys made it home safe, of course, while you're there. So hopefully you made it home safe. I know they were out till, ooh, I think they left at 1 in the morning, give or take. Around that time, we got her scenes out. So Jan wants to know, did you have a proof of concept before starting Indiegogo? Um, so my very, very first series I did was Fate Forthcoming. That was like 9, 10 years ago. And I did that. I didn't know what an Indiegogo was. Everything was out of pocket. That's when I first met Hilario. And we were just asking around people, hey, can we use this place to film? Can we do this? We're
Mm,
doing film. We have no budget. And that sometimes worked too. You just ask people, and they're like, yeah, cool, go ahead. And I ended up doing that, so we got away with things, like they were cool with it. And then you talk to your actors, you tell them your story, you basically try selling it to them, and you tell them all that stuff. um oh, okay. Sorry, I got a message from. So I taught I wow, wow, brain
You
fart.
lost your
Okay,
train of
rewind.
thought. It's okay.
Rewind. So
You're running on
um
fumes. It's okay.
yeah, I know I'm running from. Okay, let me rewind myself. Okay, cool. So when we were filming Fate Forthcoming, we had to ask around. And people were cool, and then you get your actors. You tell your actors your story. Always be straightforward with your actors. That's number one. Be straightforward with them. Tell them, listen, it's not paid. It's like literally out of pocket money. This is what I want to do with it. Tell them if it's your first time directing, your second, or how experienced you are. And then, at the end of the day, if they want to work with you, they will. If not, somebody else will do it. You know what I mean? You'll have somebody else, you just got to ask and be straightforward. So throughout filming Fate Forthcoming, we did a fundraiser. We had like event fundraising events that we did. We did raise a lot of money. We actually broke even. So and then one day somebody came up to me and said at our fundraising event, he saw my proof of concept, which I did do one. It was my first 9-minute trailer, and Hilario gave me so much shit for it. He's like, 9 minutes? That's a long ass trailer. I'm like, I don't know what to do. This is my first time doing this. Um,
Oh,
so I got heat taken from that, not from him, but someone came up. He's like, "This is the worst piece of shit film I've ever seen, but I'm only here because it's cheap drinks," and walked away. And it like literally like scarred me mentally for like the longest time. I went into like a depression. I gained all this weight and all this other stuff. And Hilario was like, "Yeah, it got bad." And Hilario was like, called me. He's like, "You eating again, aren't you?" He's like, "You need to put the chips down." He's like, "I'm stress thinking, man." He's like, "No, you're not stress thinking. You're getting fat." You know what I mean? And you
oh.
can't let people, you know, you can't
Yeah,
let
you
people
can't.
walk
It's so
over
hard
you.
not to. Like there, like you could get like thousand compliments. It doesn't matter what it is, whether
Yeah,
it's on your looks or on your creative work or whatever it is, and you get one that's negative. It's so easy just
it,
to fix on that. It's just like,
yeah, it's
and
so easy. It's so, and
ignore.
yeah, and so I got real heavy. I got big. I gained that. I went at my biggest weight at like 320 pounds, and I got big like from there. And then I was like, yeah, I can't do this. So I got back into filming. I kept going with the Fate Forthcoming stuff, and then it just didn't work out. Eventually, you just gotta, okay, I gotta drop this project because I'm not making any money off from it. So I went ahead again and did Shadowmere. So I did my first proof of concept trailer for that. It did go too well. I only raised $300. Then I did the Red Huntress. Came out of no, well, no, we filmed Fate Forthcoming the remastered. That's when I met Lillian. Um,
Yeah,
that I wasn't going to do fundraising for it. I was just like, let's just make a movie out of it, call it. And we have that film. We're gonna go back to that. Because the plan was to do that, and then we took a break because it was getting colder. And then I said, I'm gonna do a Halloween short, which was called The Red Huntress, which we're doing now. And I did it, and it just started blowing up. People loved it. People wanted to see it, and so I really didn't have a proof of concept per se, like a video, but I did have a proof of concept of the story. So, I know AI is all over the place right now, and I tell everyone do not use AI to make your proof of concept because it's deteriorating. I don't want to see that. They're not deteriorating, but it's like it doesn't show off your work. You got to show people what you can do with a low amount of money. Because if you can do something really good with a small amount of money out of pocket, as me and Hilario always said before, if I gave you $25 right now, what can you make me out of $25? Because if I gave you more than if I gave you if you could do this great with $25, what more with like $1,000? So
yeah.
you gotta think it like that. And I always go by that mindset for people. Don't look at what you can do with the most money, look what you can do with the least amount of money because that makes a huge difference when you do it because it just tells you here you go and here's 25 bucks, you make something really great, it gives more people a chance to be like here's 1,000.
Yes,
Um,
it shows what you're capable of. Exactly.
mhm.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, and learn. But my proof of concept, I did start with a proof of concept, not a video of the Red Huntress, but just a story. I took pictures. I started off with getting my cast. I got Sammy. I hired her on. Oh, not hired her, but I brought her on. So, because most of my cast, I mean, they're not getting paid. So, but we use Indiegogo to help pay for lodging and traveling. So my actors are awesome. They're workable. They understand the micro budgeting stuff.
Yes, they love
So
the
they're
labor
awesome.
of love.
Yup. And hopefully at the end of it, it all pulls through and pays off. Um, but yeah, I just did some pictures. I typed the story out. I got my work put together. And I was like, okay, I need to put this out there. I need to tell people this is what I want to do. This is my vision. And you just got to reach out to like those specific people. Like, this is horror, so you reach out to the horror community. This is fantasy, so you want to reach out to fantasy groups. You just want to go, you just want to go and reach out. You got to be smart with how you're advertising, because I know on Indiegogo there's so many things you can do, that there's classes you can take, you can do all this stuff, and you'll spend more money doing these classes or paying somebody else to hopefully get you there. But sometimes it's best just to go out and talk to people. Do it the old school way. What we did, we have a few sponsors that have gave us their emails, and they want to reserve for local businesses, because we just went over to the restaurant and we said, hey, we're doing this, what I mean, and this is our goal, and you give them your game plan, and you get personal with them, you talk with them, you relate to them, because if they know who you are, it's like, okay, I met this person. They're really cool and they're only asking for this much. Do not be greedy either. So start small. Like, start at your small rate, because if you're going up to businesses, just because they're a local business doesn't mean they're making a lot of money either.
Right.
So, you know, I told them, hey, this is what we're doing. If you can't give us any money to help, well, can if it's a restaurant, can you give us like discounts on food? Because at the end of the day, their names go up on your work as you get bigger, and the bigger you go up there, just make sure you take care of them too, and fulfill your promise and support them like they did with you. So that's me. I'm the old school way. I rather go up there. I don't like sending emails to people if I don't have to. I want them to see me. I want them to meet me. I want them to get to know me, the production, and you just
It's easier to make a connection when you're face to face. I
Hey,
feel
exactly.
like.
But a lot of people don't like face to face anymore. They don't. They rather just go on the email, send an email, and be like, "Here you go." It's like, no, just call them, tell them, "Hey, I want to talk to you about this." Keep it real. Be as straightforward. Just be straightforward, because you don't want to say something that you can't do. If this is your goal, say, "This is my goal," and be very confident when you speak, because I mean, I see videos of people going into Subway pretending that they're the manager, or a restaurant being a manager, and they walk right into the back because they're so confident that they're the manager, that it just makes the other workers like, oh, yeah, 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 I'm sorry.
Like
Or they're from
surround.
HR. Yeah,
Yes.
just because of confidence. If you can walk in somewhere, if you can walk in and sell your work and tell them, this is why we have it, this is why we need it, that's huge. But also, it's like making sure that you also listen to your audience. Like I said, I know for the Red Huntress page, and a lot of people who support us through the Red Huntress page and all that stuff, they ask me, they message me, they say, Keith, I really like this. Can you maybe, add this? I think that'll be really cool. Even if they don't donate, I try listening and putting their thoughts into the show to make it better for them to watch, because you don't see that going on anywhere. Of course, you don't listen to everything, but if you can make it work, do it. So, but going back to your question, yes, I had a small proof of concept before starting, but there's just more to the proof of concept than just, here's the Indiegogo, guys, just go purchase, go buy it. So, but if you're doing your Indiegogo, start your goal small, because you know, it's just better to start small and then go on and build up more and more and more. It's a great confident builder too for me because I know people who put their goals at $300,000 and realistically they're not going to get that. Versus saying, "Hey, just start at 1,000 and make your way
Yeah.
up and it looks good." But. So I am sorry, I'm rambling. Nikita said I love when Party City went out. Excuse you? We're done. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to cut her next. I love Party City. Well, as a kid, that was my childhood store. I got all the Pokemon stuff as a
Well,
kid.
I'm sure. I bet you she meant because of all the like sales, like store closing sales. If I had to
Oh yeah,
guess.
yeah, yeah. I know I'm giving her crap, but yeah, no, I loved it too. It was like 80% off costumes. I walked in like I grabbed the cart and the cart was for sale, and I didn't even want that because that was the most expensive one. So I was getting costumes. I would like 100, $200. You walk into all the different party cities, you got yourself good stuff. So um, let's see what he said. Working with little to no money makes you use your head more. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more because people are going to what's the term called? People are going to when you have money, I feel like people can just spend it. Just spend it, spend it, spend it, and then you lose the creativity. And it's like sometimes having a lot of money does not having a lot of money in your production, it's great, but also at the same time, you kind of sometimes you're not using your head more, because you're all thinking, oh, I'll just pay this off. I'll pay this off. So trust me,
Right.
I would love to, raise a lot of money for the Red Huntress so we can keep going with we want to keep going with the series, but I got to be realistic and I got to keep the goals realistic. And another thing, you just got to stay humble. That's my number one thing. Another number one thing, stay humble. Stay level headed. Don't 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 have your heads up in the cloud because once you start having your heads up in the clouds, you just lose it from there. So let's see. We get paid by spending time with our film family. Yep, there you go. There you go. That's a great way of putting it, And yeah, we get paid by spending time with our film family. That's how it is. It's always fun, even though we yell at each other and we get mad on set with each other sometimes and stressed because we're on set for like 15 hours. It doesn't mean we hate each other, Um, let's see. Let me see. Uh, well, I even called you in my party. Yeah, yeah. Nikita called me. I said, "Yo, I need you to go check this out because I'm not driving all the way out 4 hours away to go to Party City out there." Let me see. More than I can't say that. Wow, hold on. My
Mortimer,
vision.
dead fella.
Okay, there you go. You have to know when to Lloyd Kaufman it and use your passion and creativity. Yeah, you have to. You have to. If I don't know why they haven't made a show of like for filmmakers, like a show that talks about like, okay, here's your budget, here's what we want you to do, make
That's actually
something
a
out of
really good idea. That is a
it.
really good
Like
idea, actually.
that would be really cool. Or like, didn't
Like,
they have a
yeah,
show
like
for
one of
SF?
those reality
Yeah, reality
shows, like or
show.
whatever on
Like see who can
kind of. Yeah,
best like
I
best
think
team.
actually that's a
It's like
really good idea.
it's like Lego Masters. That would be really cool. Like they build stuff. I think they did one for SFX though for like makeup and wardrobe. I think
Okay,
it's called Face Off. Was that what it was? Face Off.
I don't know.
I think
I don't
it
know,
was. I don't remember what it
but they
was.
need one like just like for indie filmmaking, like yeah. I think that actually that would be a really good idea.
That would be really cool. People can like different filmmakers can come together and try competing it out and see what they can do with the least amount of money and what you can make. There was a
Yeah.
show that yeah, there was a show that I used to watch called as a kid called Destroy Build Destroy. And it was on Cartoon Network, I think, or Disney, or not Disney, well, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. But basically, they got people to destroy something that was put together. They give you these options, and they say, okay, here's what you got to use out of that destroyed parts. You got to build this and you got to make it work. And then if you lose, you get that destroyed. You know what I mean? But it's kind of cool because for me, I thought, you got to always be ready when you're going to make something out of nothing, but always be ready for somebody else to come in and try to destroy it. But you got to be able to come back and rebuild yourself and keep it going. That's how I always looked at it. But I'm an
Yeah.
overthinker. so, so what do you think, Lillian? What advice do you give people for just starting, brand new directors, getting into this
Um,
dangerous? Not dangerous. It's fun.
well, definitely, like you said, um, networking is good because for whether it's filmmaking or anything else, you're gonna you might you'll get people to perhaps donate their time or whatever for your project so you can cut down on costs. So networking is great. And just, yeah, you learn stuff from everyone. Just starting out, well, just accept you're going to make mistakes. Um, Also, don't overthink it, which will then prevent you from actually moving forward with it. Like for me, I was just so stubborn. I'm like, I'm finishing this film. I don't care. A lot of
Right.
people abandon projects.
Mm.
It's just sometimes things don't go well with it and they just give up. I Stubbornness comes into it can be a good thing with that because if you're like, no, I am finishing this project because people gave their time and I lost the main actor halfway through. We
It
lost
happens.
locations and it's you got people coming at you, oh, what, with their problems and stuff, and you just gotta I'm just moving forward, and you might have to accept that the final product isn't going to be perfect or exactly what you had in mind initially, but you want to finish it regardless if it's all possible, within your power. So yeah, being just stay the course. You're gonna have a lot of problems come up with your film, or if it's a series or whatever. It comes with the territory.
I feel like series are harder. Series can
Yeah,
be difficult because it's like you got
yeah,
so much. It's reoccurring. It's not like a one-time movie. Like and
exactly.
budgeting is like it gets diff. Well, I don't know. Well, with the movie, budgeting is pretty. I don't know if it's as easy as a series because I guess it depends if you break it up into like parts. I don't know. They're both difficult in its own
Yeah,
way.
the
I guess you
series,
could say.
series can be harder because it's a longer term commitment. Whereas, like you
Yeah.
said, a one and done, but you got to keep coming up with content, stories, and sometimes you don't know where the story is going to, how it's going to at the very
Hmm.
beginning. Now they say like if you were doing it for
Right.
like a television series, which television so out is more streaming, but like you have to submit like if like you have to think out far out, like so many episodes out if you're doing it like at a professional level, you know.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it at a smaller scale, it's sometimes where the story's going to go. You kind of, as you're writing it, episode by episode, it kind of takes on a life of its own. And I have a movie script too, as opposed to just an episode thing. So sometimes it unfolds the way it's going to unfold. The characters come to life how they're going to come to life. That's true,
Yeah,
Mortimer.
exactly.
With the series, you get to spend so much. That's why I personally, as far as watching as an audience member, I prefer a series to a movie because I connect more with the characters because I get to know them over time. So yeah, that's absolutely true.
Yeah. It's harder, it's difficult, it's stressful. It is. Regardless you do a movie. Uh, Whether you do a movie, like you don't see behind the doors how stressful it can be. Like you can see in my look, like I'm tired. Like it takes a lot out of you, and it's like people think it's all like fun and games. Like
Yeah.
they think it's cool, and I'm gonna say and and I'm just gonna say this. It's like I know some people come up and say, "Oh, it's easy to be a director. It's easy to do it." Now, mind you, not a director on a big budget. I'm talking about on a micro out of pocket budget that you wrote, that you're directing and you're running the whole show
Yeah.
because you don't have enough money to get something else. What is my dog
Yeah,
doing?
you have to wear multiple hats for it, for sure.
Multiple hats, and that's more money you got to dig out from your pockets. So,
Yeah.
in some cases, is it easier to be an actor? Sometimes, yes. Absolutely. Sometimes I like to be in my actor's shoes and just say, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to
Yeah.
just
Just tell
I
me
want to
when up.
exactly. I'd rather just tell me when and where to show up versus, setting everything up. It's a lot of work. So if you're gonna like whether you go into directing, if you're on a micro budget and you're making your own film and everything like that, we'll talk about that real quick. It's going to be very difficult. I'm going to tell you it's not easy. That's why there's not a lot of directors out there, people who are getting into the director field, because it's a difficult task. You got to make yourself look good. You got to make your actors look good. You got to make everything look good. You got to make sure that film looks good. That's your job. But on the other side, being an actress, you need to do a lot of work as well. Memorizing lines, making sure you sell the character, supporting the project. Um, you can get booked on other gigs too. If you have 3, 4 different sets you're working on, that can get also mentally straining on somebody. You know, like for the Red Huntress, I'm acting, directing. Where as you see in the behind the scene photos, we don't have a lot of money to be able to get a full on like crude team. So what we do, we put it together. We have college students who come out and help out because they want to get their experience, and they come out and help out, and they teach us something because hey, they're learning as they go right now, and we might not learn that stuff. And they learn things from us. So it's a two-way handshake, I guess. It's like two-way street for all of us. But yeah, but I don't know. I think directing, as you see it, I'm just like,
Yeah.
ah.
Yeah.
You know what? But at the end of the day, when it's all
It's
okay,
rewarding though.
it is. It is. I think this is not the worst part. I think the worst part is when we start editing, and then you're listening to the same scene for like
Yes. Yeah.
45 minutes, and you're like over and over and over, and then you start sitting there just saying the same thing, like, bro, I know this. And then people are like, you go into like your premiere and you're watching it, and you're just sitting there like, and they're like, everyone's like, aren't you excited,
Yes.
aren't you
Oh, I know,
excited for that?
Keith. This is
Yeah.
so true. It's like, oh yeah, I can miss. I think for Derange, when I had the screening, there was some issue going on, of course, some drama or something, and I had to leave the theater like for the beginning of it. And
Yeah,
it's like it didn't bother me that much because I was like so many times, I know it. Like it's
it's
just
like you just want to pull. It's like watching the same old movie at your family's place during the holidays, and you're like, I've seen this 20, 40 times. Like
But it's cool.
um
You know what's new and fresh though, Keith, is if you're at for a screening for a film or something,
right.
you get to see the audience's reaction for the first time to different things. Like, like all of a sudden they'll laugh and you're like, oh, I didn't know it was that funny, or they'll have react. So that part
Yeah,
is like that
those
is
are cool.
so
Or when or when you
yay,
have something
Sammy's
else.
back.
Yeah, Sammy's back. Sammy, we're talking about
He had a
people
meeting,
directing
I
their own
guess.
films. Yeah. Hey
Yeah,
Sammy, you
sorry.
want to get me some pizza, please? Like pizza and alcohol. Oh my gosh. I asked Sydney, I said, Sydney, do you want to come on tonight? And she was like, it's the Phillies home opener for baseball. So she was out drinking. And I said, okay, well, drink a bunch for me, please. So, but yeah, you're going to have days like this. Like on Monday after filming, you're working, even though you have that sleep, that gap in between to rest, you're not really resting. Like I don't agree with me sleeping. I don't call it sleeping. I call it just mentally taking a quick break and then going back into it because you're never fully able to rest until everything is done because you're so worried about this scene and that scene. Um, but yeah, like at the theaters, you're sitting there, you're like, oh my gosh, this is the part I need everyone to laugh at, or I need them to scream at. Did I scare them? Or, okay,
Yeah.
this is the moment when this thing pops up. You're like, okay. And then for the rest of it, you're like, okay. Like, you're just like, I seen directors walk out of the premiere and they're just like, I'm just going to hang out in the lobby. Like, why aren't you watching it? I don't want to watch it. I seen it like, I've been editing it for like 30 times. Like, been editing it for like the past 30 days. I'm okay with it. I just want to make sure it good. Like
Yeah.
even the last part before we release something onto YouTube, like the series, like I think it was episode 2. I watched it so many times. I just went to Mac. I said, you know what? I'm done. You can watch this. Make sure it's all good. I'm done. I just had to step away from it, but also at the same time, I'm peeking behind her shoulder, like, okay, is this all good? Is that good? But it's like you just
Yeah.
want to make sure everything is good, you know.
Right.
Directing sucks. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm just so mentally out of it. You can see
I'm
my
not.
eyes. Like if you compare
Yeah.
how I am like on normal days, like I want look at my dog. Like she's chilling right now. She's all comfortable on her bed and everything, and I'm over here like, yeah, have fun. But no, this weekend or over the past weekend was great. I loved it. It was a new experience. You learn every day new things about filming. You know, you bond better with you bond more with your actors, with your cast. Yeah, and you work well with them because at the end of the day, like you know, if this production does get big and it goes somewhere, that's your coworkers. So you got to be able to bond with everybody, you know. So well, let's see. Sammy came back near the last minute because we got like less than 8 minutes in our podcast to go. How dare you, Sam? Because I'm going to go to sleep right after this. I'm sorry. So, but yes, we are back. We are back in business with our the lounge because you know it's been a while. It's been a while. I think like you said, about a month,
3 weeks
close
or a
to a
month, something
month.
like that.
3 weeks, yeah, about that. So, but we are back and we're going to be doing some awesome, cool things. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but next week's going to be fun. We want to get into, I think next week what we will do, what I want to do is promote indie musicians. I think that will be something because we're always talking about movies. So let's promote indie film or indie musicians, people who make audio tracks, music. So I will put that out there. If you make audio, if you make music, um, independently, what's the term for the music? Not underground music. What's it called?
Um,
Uh, uh
I mean, independent.
I think it's independent. I know there's another term for it, but yeah, independent music.
This.
Yeah. So you know, go ahead. I will be making a post about that. So wow, I'm zoning out. I will be making a post about that so you can put all your information and email us your sound, your music, you know, something that you want to get out there, and we'll listen to it. Everyone will listen to it because, you know, I think next week I want to listen to music. So this will be great. So, but make sure if you're going to have your music played on over here, just make sure you are the one who own it. I don't want to hear somebody else's music and stuff like that. Oh, I'll open that up in a bit. So yeah, as long as it's your music, you create it yourself, you want to put it out there, you want people to know who you are. Um, this will be your opportunity for independent music makers. That's what we'll do for next week. I think that would be cool because we like to support independent filmmakers independent music makers, just someone who's independent doing their work. We want to support you all because you all have supported us, so we want to support it and return the favor. So if you make music, go ahead and I'll be making a post soon. Um, and just stay tuned to that. I'll post up in the Red Huntress page about it. I know it's not related to the Red Huntress, but I'll make the post in there and all around. And yeah, so um, here we go. Let's see. Scott says Vivian says you need some sleep. I know, I know. I am just blah. Um, but she'll submit some original music. Perfect. Yeah. So next Monday, 7 p.m. Send it in, tune in. As I always say, make sure everyone's tuned in if we're going to play your stuff, because we're not going to play your stuff if you're not tuned in from the beginning, because we need to support each other. So as you see, the bags are getting heavier under my eyes. I might have one drink. I have a Jack and Coke in my fridge. I'm probably going to try sipping, and then I'm going to go to sleep. So, all right, everyone. Yeah, yeah. Just go from town to there. So, all right, everyone. As I stated before, help us out for episode 4. Just go ahead and put your emails into our Indiegogo pre-launch for episode 4, and you can read more information on it. I just dropped the Indiegogo link in there. Tell your friends, tell your family about it. All you have to do is put your emails on there. It closes on Wednesday. So if you want to get first access to cool perks, go jump on it right now. Just put your email on it. And if you want really cool perks and exclusive stuff, you can reserve $10 and you'll get all that cool stuff with it. So, all right. I am just, so how are you, Lillian? You doing all right?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay.
You're hanging in there. You're looking at you all bright and shiny today. You're just like, and I'm over here like I'm ready to go to sleep. My lights are starting to dim. I have it on this setting where it's called sunset. So it starts from like bright yellow and it starts going into like orange to dark, and it stays really dark, and then it goes off after like
Okay.
45 minutes, and I'm usually knocked out by then. So my
Okay.
next investment is to get those thunderstorm clouds that you can get in your room. It's like LEDs, but you put
Oh,
they have
really?
like a
Oh, that
special
sounds cool,
stuffing on it.
actually.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
I always love space. So it's pretty cool for that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Thunderstorms make me sleepy. So,
I have to
but
sleep with a
I won't
fan
put any.
on. I have to sleep with a fan on, like the sound, white noise, or whatever they call it. I have to have my fan. My fan. I need that.
Fans are not
So
bad. I like it. I like it with fans on. So, well, all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We had a large number of people tune in today. Thank you
yeah, we
again.
can turn off
Um,
everyone.
our Indiegogo stuff and that. Yeah, we're back. We came back. They were welcoming. Yeah, welcoming party for us. So yes, next week, if you know someone who makes original music content and they want their work to be out there, go ahead and I'll put out the information probably tomorrow. And have them send their information in, drop it in there, and we will play it next week. And next week will just be a nice little music podcast that we'll be talking about. So put your music in. So, all right, everyone, we will see you next week.